Yeah. Y'all see the title. Brother Polight is sentenced to 7 years. We're gonna slow walk this one. We are gonna slow walk this one. We're gonna walk this down, man. Top Flight TV here, what's happening? Reporting to you live. Brother Polight, 7 years, state prison, 2 counts. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated child abuse, 1 count of contributing to a minor. If you don't know already, he was charged with lewd and lascivious acts against a 14-year-old, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the information in front of me. I've been following this case for a while now. And to make a long story short, we're gonna get into the story. I'm gonna tell y'all the story. If you're not familiar with Brother Polight, he was a part of the Black conscious community. And he was a very elegant, good speaking brother, and he had a lot of so-called seemingly good information, which I'm not gonna count out, and I'm not gonna praise him neither. Let me let this breathe for a minute, because I got a lot of emotions going on. I'm not emotional, but I'm gonna get into why I got some emotions going on. 7 years, y'all. The Rolls Royce Diaries is over for 7 years. He probably get out in 5, maybe 4. Might get out in 4 years. All right, so we're gonna walk this down. I might be here for a minute. Stay with me if you got time. Let me close this door. Reporting live from Top Flight Studios, Top Flight TV, man. Mr. Michael Novak, I don't know, AKA Brother Polight, has been sentenced to 7 years. He pleaded guilty, he copped a plea. He did everything he could not to have that plea and this information to be broadcasted live. Well, guess what? We heard the verdict, we heard the plea deal. 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. This is why I got some emotions going on. 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. 1 count of contributing to a minor. For years, we've been telling you guys who this man is. And today, he told us who he is when he took that plea. Now y'all know when somebody pleads to something, they're pretty much saying, I'll take this lesser charge so you won't fry me, because y'all have the evidence to convict me for this charge, but I'll take this other charge so we won't have to waste the court's money and go to trial. So today, Brother Polight told us that he aggravatedly abused that 14-year-old girl. Mind you, this is his girlfriend's or wife, because he has a bunch of wives, quote unquote. This is his wife's daughter. This is his wife's daughter. Let me get into the story. The story is Polight and his girlfriend and her daughter are in Miami. They're in Miami. This is where he frequents. I've seen him in Miami. I've seen him at the hotel, the Fontainebleau. This is where he does a lot of his business, so-called business, AKA scams. Because this guy was a scam artist. We're gonna walk this down, family. There's so much to unpack here. There's so many layers. Somebody talk to me. There's so many layers to this thing right here. Florida. They're in Miami, Florida, South Beach. I'm gonna give you my recollection of the story. The story's all over the internet. And this is a credible story. The story does not change. South Beach, Miami, supposedly the girl and her mother got into an argument. This is what is being reported. No, we not even gonna give his side because that's his side. His side is that the girl and her mother got into an argument. He took her to another hotel room to talk to her to try to calm the situation down. We know that don't make no damn sense. So, long story short, they're in South Beach, Miami. Polight goes, gets another room adjacent, away, in another hotel, away from the mother. Now we know that he assaulted that little girl. She had alcohol in her system, or drugs, one of the two. They found his DNA on the scarf that she was wearing. There was bruises around her lips because they say maybe he was, just maybe, I have my own theory, but they say maybe he was trying to make her throw up whatever she was ingested. And this is how these charges came about. I was not in the hotel room. I don't know exactly what happened in that hotel room. But we know now, more than likely, that he raped that little girl or attempted to rape that little girl. Today is the day, man. Finally, this man has been apprehended. He's been taken off the streets. He is a danger to society. This man was an adamant scammer. He scammed people for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Shout out to Crypto Roots. May you rest in peace, brother. This is kind of heavy. It's a lot of emotions going on because Crypto Roots died. Crypto Roots bought into one of his schemes, one of his scams, and was scammed for, I think it was somewhere between $70,000 and $100,000 that he received from an inheritance. This was a young brother who received an inheritance from his family. He invested in Polight, not saying it was the smartest thing to do, but Polight got him for around 100K. And not long after trying to get his money back or get his product, he died of an asthma attack, leaving behind a family. So is the day of reckoning, a day of redemption for all the victims out there that not only have been scammed, but have been abused by Polight. He abused that little girl, that 14-year-old girl, his wife's daughter, he abused her. Now he's going to do 7 years in the state penitentiary. Yeah. He was convicted today. There's a lot of layers to this. We're going to slow walk it. Leave a comment. Tell me how you feeling. We're going to get into it. I'm super relieved that this man didn't weasel his way, that he didn't weasel his way out of this like he has in the past. He's weaseled his way out of other situations that we were made aware of. Sarnetta, he told us about another incident with a little girl. He told us about another incident with another one of his wife's daughters. Brother Polight copped to 2 counts of aggravated child abuse today. He also copped to contributing to a minor. As a result, his sentence is 7 years, state time, 10 years probation. He has to do some type of child sex offender program. This is real, family. This is real. Everybody that was taking up for him, it was crazy because it was a lot of people in the conscious community taking up for this guy. And they probably still gonna take up for him. This man has to register, some type of registry. I don't know if it's a sex offender registry, but he has some type of registry that he has to register for, some type of class he has to take. And he has certain stipulations of how many minors he can be around. I don't believe it's a sex offender. I didn't hear anything about a sex offender. But what I did hear, he has to take a class, some sort of class, maybe a certification, or that he's not I don't know. But 10 years probation, 7 years state time. He may get out 4, maybe get out earlier than that. He may get out 2, 3 years. He may get out 2, 3 years. He has to pay the victim a total of between $20,000 and $25,000 restitution. Now I want to give a little backstory, man, because I'm not celebrating, number one, because a little girl has been traumatized for life. And that really hit home with me today, listening to that judge. Throughout these 2 years, I didn't have any attachment to that little girl. All I knew was Polight was under fire, and I knew that people were defending him. So I spent these past 2 years going at the people that were defending him. Now I keep thinking about that little girl. But today really got me in touch with the young lady, because she had to take off school for this. And you know, she was abused, man. You know, the reality hit me that something took place in that courtroom. In that hotel room, and this little girl will forever be traumatized. If it wasn't that serious, they would not have showed up. They were in the court. They were at court today. If it wasn't that serious, they wouldn't have showed up. I took the brother Polight, 2014. I saw brother Polight. I looked up the brother Polight, and I didn't know too much about the conscious community. I didn't know about knowledge of self. I didn't know too much about certain history. And when I found brother Polight, or when I got privy to his information, or I started watching brother Polight, he was somewhat of a hero to me. And for years, maybe it was just me coming into consciousness that I was ignorant of a lot of things, just like a lot of our people are ignorant to a lot of things when we coming from a certain world. And now we're stepping into consciousness. We're stepping into knowledge of self. We don't know who we are. Are we a Hebrew Israelite? Are we a Muslim? Who are we? Are we Aboriginal? Are we Kemetic, West African? So I was ignorant to all this. So when I started watching brother Polight, I was intrigued, and I followed him, and I bought into what he was selling. That may have went on for maybe 4 years, and I would watch him, and I would study a lot of his stuff. He inspired me to be a smarter and more intellectual individual. So around, I'm not even gonna tell you what year, but once he went to LA, he started acting real funny, doing super wild shit, trying to be like living like a rapper. When I first saw him, he had the New Covenant uniform with the thing around his eye, and he was very, I don't want to say Afrocentric, but he was very humble in his dress. After a while, after he started getting a lot of notoriety through the media, through YouTube, he started dressing in Versace. Okay, he's a very tacky nigga. He's very tacky. He had the Robin jeans on. You could tell he was new to the money. But that's neither here nor there. The thing that turned me off at first was the fact that we went from consciousness to money, 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 money. And his message started to change and his attitude started to change. And then at some point he totally disconnected. He even said the conscious community is dead. He basically said that he's not dealing with the conscious community. He'd rather do this, this, and this. He got some notoriety by hanging around Meta World Peace, Floyd Mayweather, and a lot of other celebrities. So before all this kicked off, I stopped. I was done. I was like, oh, this dude, I know what it looks like. I know what it looks like when somebody gets some money, okay? I deal in the entertainment industry. So I know what it looks like when the fame is changing people or the money is changing people. And it's one of the worst things about the industry, how the money and fame and notoriety will change somebody. Because they go from, and don't get me wrong, you're supposed to evolve. And yes, you're gonna change out of spite. You're gonna be in new places, eating new foods, around new people, getting new love, a different kind of love. So you're supposed to elevate and change, but this guy was changing for the worse. And he was super thirsty for the clout, the women, and he was always walking around with 3 or 4 women. Like, what part of consciousness is this? You understand? And it was, see, I came to the conscious community to get away from the hip hop community, honestly, because I deal in the hip hop community. And being a part of hip hop all my life, I wanted something different. So in a nutshell, I stopped watching and following that man because it looked like he wanted to go into the hip hop community. And I was trying to come out of that. I used the conscious community to escape from all that. So after a while, it was just like, yeah, this guy lost it. He lost his mind. He lost his marbles. And I remember him and Sa fell out. Sa is a guy, he's a host of Black News 102. He's a host, he's the godfather of the conscious community. I saw a broadcast where Sa basically exposed him. He exposed him about another young lady, another one of his wife's daughters. That was it for me. Then the scamming, this whole time the scamming, there was whispers of scamming. You understand? So I would listen in and yeah. So that added fuel to the fire. That added added to my decision to stop dealing with that man or even listening to that man. So once he was exposed by Sa, that was the biggest red flag for me. Then I knew something was wrong with the whole conscious community once he was exposed. Because after he exposed him, he brought him back. Sa said that he scammed him, that Polight scammed Sa, and that his wife's daughter ran away with Polight. That's when I knew something was wrong with the whole conscious community. Because if you know these things, why would you bring this man back and hail him as your champion? This man has scammed a lot of people, man. So finally, man, the scams came to light. We all saw the cargo crate scam. He was busted. He got busted in a lot of different scams, and it was very apparent who this man was. Okay. So for the past 2 years, I've been fighting people that have been defending this man. You know, I've been on Sinetta's head. Don't get me wrong, I got love for Sinetta and his platform. It could be a great platform if he can have some integrity. Integrity. He's missing integrity over there. It's all about a dollar over there. And I do believe he wants to help people, but it takes more integrity. When you have integrity, the money will come to your brand. You don't sell your integrity for money because you'll end up with one short bag. You can get that 20K right today, or you can have integrity and get 20K every month, every year. If you just tuning in, Polight got sentenced to 7 years in state prison. He accepted a plea for 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and contributing to a minor. He got 10 years probation. He has to pay restitution of $20,000 to $25,000, and he has to take some sort of sex offender class, some sort of one of those weird classes that sex offenders gotta go to. I don't know if he's on the registry. I didn't hear that. I'm gonna look back into it, but yeah, that's what he got. He got 7 years in the state prison. RIP to Crypto Roots. Good energy and good vibes sent to the victim, that little girl. We don't know her name, but I hope this can help her. I doubt it, but I'm hoping that this plea can help her start to heal, that he's behind bars. This is a very real thing, man. This is a very real thing. It all came to reality today. This girl had to miss school so she can go face her accuser. All you pieces of shit that was defending this man, we want to hear from you now. You defend Dr. York to this day. There's nothing you can say to us at this point. We're going to slow walk. We're going to walk this down, man. There's a lot of layers to this. It's a lot of layers. I wanted to get the news out to the people, whoever didn't know. That man got 7 years. It's very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I want to know what's going to happen from here. Sinetta, where you at, player? You said you was going to speak on this. You had some words for this. Where you at, man? We're waiting to hear what you have to say about this. We waiting. This dude is a psychopath. I learned at some point, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that Brother Polight is not all there. And we've been trying to tell people ever since. And people they were blinded. I guess when I came in, I was blinded as well. You understand? I didn't see. He talks very good. He's a very good actor. But ultimately, this man's a psychopath, dog. Something seriously wrong with him. They have a place for psychopaths. They have a place for people like Brother Polight. It's called the state prison. Now he can be around people just like him. He's supposed to be a Crip gang member. We're gonna see what that crippin' like, man. We're gonna see what that crippin' like down there with the Florida boys. It's a lot of Israelites down there. He's disrespected the Israelites throughout the years. So that's gonna be very interesting. He's disrespected the Muslims. I don't know if he has anywhere to run when he gets to where he's going. 7 years. I think it's a light sentence. I think he got off real light. He will probably only do, he'll probably only do 2 to 3 years. He can be out in 2 to 3 years. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy that he did get some time because knowing this cat is so slick. He's so devious and cunning that I'm surprised he didn't weasel his way out of this one. That really lets me know that this was a serious case. He can't have any interaction with the victim, of course. A $25,000 restitution bill, 10 years probation, and he has to take a class for sex offenders or some shit like that. It's a special class he has to take. That's Mr. Polight. Last time I seen Polight, I was in Miami, and I was posted outside the Fontaine Blue, and I look over in the distance in the parking lot, and he's over there in a purple Bentley, purple Rolls Royce, where he had his little hat on. He had some thugs with him, because he's a thug, man. He's a gangster. That's what he is. And I felt that eerie feeling come over me. I wanted to go approach him, but I wasn't on that type time out there. That's not my thing. But I felt the eerie feeling come over me. You can just look at him and see. You can feel the vibe, and you can just see that he's a scammer and he's up to no good, right? And the problem is, Crypto Roots was scammed out of almost $100,000 by this man. Countless other people were scammed by this man. We don't know how many young girls were abused by Brother Polight. We don't know how many. I want to hear some comments, man. Somebody tell me how you feel about this. Do you know who Brother Polight is? If not, look him up. Or if you have questions, I can answer those questions. The whole community has been waiting 2 years for this verdict. There has been a back and forth for 2 years. Is he guilty? Is he not guilty? You had people. We had the evidence. We had the police report. There was DNA found. There was video footage. We had the little girl's testimony. We had the mother's testimony. But yet and still, people were still sitting around talking about, hey, we don't know yet. We're gonna wait till the court date. Smart people, we did not say we're gonna wait till the court date. Of course, we're gonna wait till the court date to find out for sure. But if it was my family and I had the police report and it said this man's DNA was on my family, on my family's scarf, I'm not waiting for no damn court date. We're gonna slow walk this, man. We're gonna walk this all the way down. Tap in with me. Tap in with me. If you wanna go live with me, let me know. 7 years in the state penitentiary, state prison, Brother Polight, he copped a plea. He copped a plea. 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of contributing to a minor. The girl was 14 years old, 14, 15, give or take. I'm pretty sure it was 14 years old. It was his wife's daughter. He took her to a hotel room, gave her alcohol, sexually abused her. They said he was doing some type of dance or some shit like this. This dude let the money get to his head. He let the fame get to his head. It's a video out there, and I'm gonna probably do a better breakdown, better presentation. This is not the bulk of my content, so I don't have a big presentation set out for Polight because he's a piece of shit. I don't need to spend too much time on him. There's a video out there, him in Miami with a bunch of women, and he has the girl's mother on a leash. He got 2 women on a leash, and he's dancing and looking like a freak, man. It was the most disgusting thing ever. Like I said, we looked up to this man. He seemed to be on a mission of consciousness and righteousness, and then to turn around and we see him with women on a leash doing some type of freaky dance. You know what I mean? Like the money just tore his head up, man. Now you gotta sit in a cell, right? You gotta sit in that cell and you gotta reflect on all the people you scammed. You gotta reflect on all the women you've hurt, all the little girls you may have hurt. It's reflection time, right? Yeah, today, man, it happened. Today. There's a lot of people in the conscious community that was defending this guy. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you think now. Yeah. It's not a celebration whatsoever. I'm not celebrating. There was a little girl hurt. Hopefully, you know, the crazy part about this is when he gets out, he's going to do the same thing. When he gets out, he's going to still scam people. I'm hoping that the community doesn't embrace him when he gets back. 'Cause that's the first place he's going to run to. I guarantee you, man. The first place he's coming when he gets out of jail is the conscious community. That's how he started. He used the conscious community to boost him, to get his accolades, to get his name out there, and then he went over into Hollywood, started dealing with Mayweather, started dealing with Meta World Peace. He was around all the A-list artists. So when he gets back, again, he'll probably do 2 to 3 years. If he got a 7-year sentence in the state, I don't know how Florida does it, but if he got a 7-year sentence, he'll probably come home 2 to 3 years maybe, and he can't appeal the decision because he copped a plea. Now, if he would have went to trial, if he got a 7-year plea, if he'd have went to trial, he probably would have got over 20 years. That lets you know the seriousness of this case. The internet is on fire today. I'm gonna tell you right now, the internet will be on fire today. I wanted to inform the people. I have been sitting, waiting for this verdict. I've been waiting to see what was gonna happen to this mutt, because that's what he is, he's a mutt. So I've been waiting to see what was gonna happen with him. And I'm glad he got some prison time. It should be a rude awakening for him. That poor girl, that girl's mother, you know the mother. I know the mother may be feeling some guilt for even being around this piece of shit and having her daughter around this piece of shit. You know, at some point, man, us as a parent, we have to monitor who we have our children around. I don't know her situation. I'm not blaming her whatsoever. But we have to be very mindful and cognizant of where we have our children, who we have our children around. I know he dangled some money in their face. He dangled some lifestyle in their face. And he promised them things. This is what he's been doing for years. I'm very familiar with his tactics. He's a conscious pimp. He's a conscious pimp. He pimped the community. And he even acted as if he was a pimp. He wore pimp clothes, he was pimp hat, riding his Rolls Royce. And he denied it. He didn't even deny it, but he acted as if he was still a millionaire until the last day. The Rolls Royce diaries. See, Polight has me blocked on Instagram. I can't see what he does. He has me blocked. That's how long I've been going at this man. Because again, I was a follower. You know, I bought into what Polight was doing, and I was intrigued by his intellect. And again, I was coming from the hip hop world, and I wanted to come into the conscious world. So yeah, today, man. This is it. Somebody tap in with me, man. Any questions, comments? If you just tuning in, Michael Novak, aka Brother Polight, is sentenced to 7 years in the state prison. 2 counts of aggravated child abuse, 1 count of contributing to a minor, 10 years probation. Don't mind me, man. I am getting this thumbnail together. So I'm gonna send this out here in a little bit. I appreciate everybody that tapped in with me, man. We're gonna get this channel popping. I swear we are. We're gonna get this channel popping. We are gonna get this channel rocking. How you feel about the sentence, man? Are you familiar with Brother Polight? Do you think 7 years was enough time? Let me tell you something, man. 1 day in jail was too long for me. 1 day in jail was too long for me, man. You understand? Especially if you got, say, let's just say this man has all this business going on. Let's just say he's a millionaire. He owns these Rolls Royces. Let's just act as if. 7 years is a long time to be away from your business. It's a long time. When you come out, you probably had nothing. You understand? Parole, who knows it? Who knows if he'll get parole? I just know typically, I'm in Maryland, so in Maryland, typically, if you get a 7-year sentence, you'll probably come home in 3 years, 3 to 4 years. But 1 day in jail was too long for me. You know, shit, I don't want to be in there for an hour. No, thank you. So this guy was so-called used to living lavish, having whatever he wanted. And now you go to the state prison. It's a very big difference. And I'm sure he's having a rude awakening right now. You know, you pay for what you do in this lifetime. And this guy was no good. You know, I want to hear what the conscious community has to say about this. I want to hear what Sarnetta has to say about this. We've been telling people for 2 years that this man was guilty, and people, you know, acted as if we're supposed to wait until the court tells us he's guilty. When we got all the information, we had all the information. It was right there. DNA, we had his DNA on that little girl's clothing. DNA, when I say DNA, you know what I mean by DNA. I don't even want to get too graphic on here. They had video footage. They had the girl's testimony. They had the mother's testimony. And more importantly of all, we had Polight's character. We know who Polight is. I already knew. We knew that he was capable of doing such a thing, especially when Sarnetta already put him out there. Again, my heart goes out to that little girl, her family, whatever they dealing with on this day, man. I hope that they can find some sort of relief, because it's no joke, man. What he did to that girl cannot be taken back. The damage is done. What's it gonna be like when Polight gets up in that prison? When fast talking Polight walks down that tier, what's it gonna be like, man? You can't really run to the Muslims because you disrespected the Muslims. If you're not aware, this guy has disrespected the Muslims, the Hebrew Israelites, Christians, everybody. He's disrespecting. He made a career out of disrespecting them. There's a video called the Bible or the bullet, the Bible or the bullet, where he's actually shooting a Bible. You know, and that's what his thing is. That's what he did. He did stuff like that. Yeah. I want to know how many of his wives will come out with their tell-all book once that money gets low. We want to hear, because it's so much to be uncovered in this case. It's so much to be uncovered when it comes to Brother Polight, because he's been out here doing so much dirt throughout the years. Yeah. The case was postponed. It was backed up, I think, 4 or 5 times. He tried to weasel his way out. He tried to get out, and it didn't work. Today, they were. Let me say the last court date, which was in July. They actually had the judge take down the Zoom so nobody could hear what was going on. Right. Today, let me walk you through the day, how today went. Today, you know, all the court proceedings are on Zoom as well as in person. Today, we heard the lawyer. They said, "Hey, what's up? Where's your man at?" He's coming up the elevator. This is Polight's lawyer talking. He's coming up the elevator. Hit the like button. Give me 10 likes, dog. I ain't tripping right now because I'm coming with the content. So I ain't worried about it. But just give me a like or two, whatever. The lawyer said he's coming up the elevator. The prosecution has added something to the plea deal that I need to run by Polight because it may be a deal breaker. So for at least 15 to 20 minutes, there was silence. The judge was like, "Hey, I can't wait. I have a jury trial in 5 minutes." So there was a little delay, and finally, I guess they went over the deal with him. Then, of course, Mr. Slickster, he didn't want the trial to be broadcasted. He just wanted certain individuals to be able to see and hear that plea being took. He did not want us to hear that he pleaded guilty. He admitted that he aggravatedly, if that's even a word, he did not want us to hear that he was pleading to 2 counts of aggravated child abuse. Aggravated child abuse. What is aggravated child abuse? Does anybody know off the top of their head? Anybody? Aggravated child abuse. Aggravated child abuse is defined as committing an aggravated battery on a child or willfully torturing, maliciously punishing, or caging a child, or abusing a child in a manner that causes great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement. Grand Rising, man. I appreciate the comments, dog. I've been sitting here talking to myself, man. We gonna get this channel popping, but I appreciate the comments. Listen, thank y'all for being here. Even if you're here for a minute, man, just give me a quick like, whatever. But listen, aggravated child abuse. This is, if you just tuned in, you don't know what's going on. Aggravated child abuse. This is Florida. The crime of aggravated child abuse is defined as committing an aggravated battery on a child or willfully torturing, maliciously punishing, or caging a child or abusing a child in a manner that causes great bodily harm, permanent disability, or permanent disfigurement. He copped out to 2 of those charges. As well as contributing to the delinquency of a minor. What is contributing to the delinquency of a minor? According to the U.S. law, contributing to the delinquency of a minor is where an adult knowingly encourages a minor to partake in prohibited acts of juvenile delinquency. So I'm guessing that's where the alcohol came in at. Because y'all know, they said that He took the girl, he took the 14-year-old girl, this is brother Polight. He took the 14-year-old girl to another room away from her mother. Took her to the room. They were supposed to be going to the club. Man, what kind of shit is that, dog? This is his story. He said we supposed to take her to the club. I wanted to talk to her about getting along with her mother, man. Polight always had a slogan that said, I'm too smart to be broke. And when it's all said and done, this man was too dumb. He was dumb as a box of bricks, man. You think we gonna buy that? You think we're gonna buy that you took her, you wanted to take this 14-year-old girl at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning to an after party, a club in South Beach, Miami, so you could talk to her about getting along with her mother? You thought we was gonna buy that, man? One of the problems with the conscious community is they'll tell us anything because they think that we don't know and we're just ignorant. Because a lot of them take advantage of the fact that some of us are coming from different lifestyles and we don't have knowledge of self. So they'll take advantage of that and they'll tell us any goddamn thing. Let's talk about the conscious community real quick. No, let's talk about the online conscious community. Because I fell for that as well. And I'm not saying it's all bad. I still tune in to a lot of the programs. I still tune into some of the debates. Let me say this, man. Yesterday and last week, Korea, what's happening, man? All the way from Korea. How you doing, man? Make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the like button, too. I'm not real thirsty for likes and subscribe, but it would be nice. I appreciate it. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to make things happen. I got my other cameras. I just haven't set them up yet. So I'm just going live just for convenience sake. The Doodoo online community. Hey, man, let me tell you, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that amongst the community. It is a whole lot of that. Again, I came from the hip hop community trying to get away and focus my attention on other things. You understand? So when I found the conscious community online, I was very excited. I was very intrigued because I'm like, man, I'm not hearing this every day. Now, I don't know Korea, brother. I'm in America, but I salute you. I appreciate you. So yeah, I found this community. I'm intrigued because I'm like, man, all I'm dealing with is hip hop and everything that entails. So when I found this, man, I'm like, all right, knowledge, information, righteousness. Brother, no light. No light, man. That boy got that 7-piece and a biscuit today, man. Much good energy and good vibes and whatever else goes out to that girl and her family. RIP Crypto Roots. Everybody else that was taken advantage of by this man. It's not a life sentence. It's not a hefty sentence by any means. He seemed pretty pleased with it. Because he knows he'll probably be out in 4 or 5 years, 3, 4 years, somewhere around here. But still, 1 day is long enough for me. 1 day is long enough for me. If you just tuning in, family, Brother No Light, as my man called him, he took a plea for 7 years, 10 years probation, restitution of $20,000 to $25,000. Yeah, the conscious community. Hey man, I tapped in about 2013, and I was tapping in when they were out on the street and they were having dialogue outside, and it wasn't a ploy to get likes and views. It really seemed like it was about helping black folks, you know what I'm saying, and teaching brothers knowledge of self It really felt that way. At some point, it just pivoted to the left. You know what I'm saying? And Polight, Polight, but he bears a lot of responsibility. No, they go back in the 90s. I'm just saying online. Online, from what I came, I'm just giving my perspective. I came in late. You know what I'm saying? I'm 42 years old. I came in late. I was in the hip hop community. That's what I dealt with. I didn't know nothing about the conscious community. I had some conscious homeboys. I didn't know what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But I blame Polight, and we got to give Brother Sai some of the responsibility, but mostly Polight, man. He single-handedly crashed that whole conscious community. He made it about something else, man. And to fast forward, yeah, they still supporting him, man. They still support him. But fast forward, man, going through years and years and years of doing my own self-reflection, self-discovery, I realized that you cannot jump behind any man and follow any man. You have to do your own research. You have to come to your own conclusion of who you are. You understand? And that let me know too. After a while, I started looking at the online conscious community as simply entertainment. That's it, entertainment. That's all it is. That's all it's been since I've had an awakening within an awakening. All that stuff is entertainment. I get a little bit of knowledge here and there. It's some interesting topics. I can still divert my attention away from hip hop, take a break from hip hop, the whole scene, because that gets redundant and that gets, it's a lot of ignorance and BS involved in that world as well. It's gonna be, look here, it's gonna be BS in anywhere we go. Any fellowship we go to, it's gonna have its problems. I worked at Wendy's for 4 years, and it was problems there. It was controversy there. If you go to your church, it's gonna be some controversy in there. So I don't mind a little bit of controversy, man. But today, I look at all that as simply entertainment. You know, I've been going back and forth with these guys for 2 years. He's still debating them Hebrews, dog. I'm not gonna lie. I find that entertaining. Maybe I'm just bored. Maybe I don't have a lot going on, but I click and I watch them go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I watch them go back and forth. But for my own personal life and education, that's not what I go there for. You understand? I don't go there for that. They're not showing me anything about how to pay my mortgage or how to feed my kids. It's nothing fruitful coming out of there. 95% of the time. I still look up to some of the brothers over there simply because of their intellect, simply because of the way they may live, such as Jabari and other good guys over there. But I do not put my life and put my whole way of thinking into that. I have to navigate through this world on my own. You understand? For the past 2 years, they've been, I'm not gonna say they, but that platform. If you go on that platform today, man, you looking in comments, you'll see people praising Brother Polight. Just last night, they was replaying videos from Brother Polight. And the thing is, I speak up over there. See, they know who I am, and they don't really like me. A lot of them don't like me. Some of them like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not a fan of any of them. It's a lot of yes men over there. It's a lot of people that are scared to voice their opinion. They just want to kiss Sai's ass all day. But I speak up. Like they played a video of Polight last night, like praising him for his debate skills. I'm like, I'm lost. I'm like, cuz he is on trial. Tomorrow is his court date for molesting a little girl. Why are we looking at this nigga right now? I couldn't wrap my head around it. And I said, y'all not gonna call this out? Am I the only one in the room? I'm in the chat room. I'm like the only one in the room that's thinking like this. Why are we looking at this dude? It went from a conversation about debaters and a list of debaters to us watching Polight debate. I'm like, what the hell is going on right now? But thank goodness, you know, I'm a grown man. I have my own brain. I have my own mind. A lot of these people don't have their own mind. You know, a lot of these people this is how they fall into different cults and things. You know, you can fall into a cult. And again, I have empathy for our people because we didn't have, a lot of us didn't have knowledge of self, man. You know, a lot of us did not have knowledge of self. So when I saw these things, a lot of them cats was like superheroes to me, man. You know, I got on there and I seen the red and blue pills. I saw my brother Sankofa. I saw brothers look just like me, and they wasn't on the whole hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? And at that period of my life, I really needed to be around and see something different. You know, yo, we smoking that brother Polight pack today. Roll him up, man. Roll him up. He getting what he deserves, man. He's getting what he deserves. You know what I'm saying? He deserves more than that. I know that. He definitely deserves more than that. I'm happy that he's getting some time. I'm happy that he gets to feel those bracelets and walk down those halls. You dig? I'm happy about that. No matter for how long. Like I said earlier, man, one day is long enough for me to go in. I don't like jail at all. That's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he got that 7-piece, dog. In the state prison, yeah. In Florida too. New York boy, flashy, rambunctious New York boy. Yeah, he did deserve. Look here, he deserved a 60-year sentence. Absolutely. But no one Polight. He gonna come out. He gonna do something else. I wouldn't be surprised at this point if the feds swoop in and get him for some other shit. We not gonna act like the feds haven't been watching Brother Polight all this time, or maybe he was working with the feds. But we not gonna act like the feds haven't been watching Brother Polight. All the reports, there's people that have been reporting him to the FBI from being scammed. They've been watching that, man. Yeah, I hope the girl. See, look here, man. It hit different for me today when I heard the charges. It was a confirmation that that little girl was abused, man. And I hope she does find peace. Man, Ray, man, I don't believe he has the money, dog. I don't believe he has the money. Let me tell you something. That's another reason I stopped. Well, that's another reason that I understood what type of time he was on, because, you know, again, I'm in the entertainment industry. So what I know when somebody's marketing themselves to make it look like they have money. And the reality is that man didn't have the money that he said he had. You know, I could tell by what he was wearing. He would wear the same Versace shoes every time he'd appear on camera. A lot of people will tell you, anybody in the industry, not me, because I don't care. I wear whatever. If I pay $1,200 for some shoes, I'm gonna wear them bitches till I can't wear them no more. But a lot of people will tell you, man, especially in Hollywood, you don't pop up with the same clothes you had on in a shoot, dog. You just don't do it. You go get new clothes. So I know he was fronting. I knew he was fronting. You know what I'm saying? I knew he was fronting. Yeah, I knew he was fronting. Another way I knew he was fronting was because we didn't see any home base. What's the first thing y'all gonna do if y'all come up on $1 million? If you don't already have a house, what's the first thing you gonna do? You gonna, if you're smart, you gonna get yourself a home base. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get yourself a house, man. We didn't see no houses. We saw Airbnbs. We saw a lot of those. We saw the rental cars. I can also tell by the way he would position himself. Like every time we saw him, it looked like a photo shoot or a video shoot, because I shoot videos. So I know when somebody is dressed up, they're on the scene, they're on a set. You understand? So he was always on some type of set, it looked like, with the I-8, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, nah. Where's your car, nigga? Where's your car? We want to see your car. We want to see your house. I didn't buy it. I think he may have been getting money here and there from scamming, but that money went right back out the window because you got to pay for your Airbnb. You got to pay for the club that night. See, what he would do was he would hang around certain hotels and certain clubs so he could meet people. You get you a good outfit, that same outfit, the Robin hat with the Robin jeans and the Versace shoes. You get you an outfit to look like you belong somewhere. He was tall. Some people might have seen him on Sinetta. You go hang out in front of a hotel. That's where I saw him at. Last time I seen Polight, it was out front of the hotel. It was out front of LaFontaine Blue, where all the celebrities be at. And he was just hanging out. He ain't had no business over there. He didn't have a room. He didn't have a room over there. So that was his way of networking. You know what I'm saying? He would stand in these places and try to network, you know what I mean, to look like he's doing something. Yeah. And I didn't buy it. Unfortunately, the conscious community bought that. If you ask most people in the conscious community, they think he's a goddamn multi-millionaire. And that was his intention. That was his intention, man. He, at the same time that he would network with these people, at the same time, when he gets that picture with Mayweather, he can take it back to the conscious community. And he knew they would be in awe. See, one thing Polight understood about the conscious community is most of us don't have a lot of money. Not only don't we have a lot of money, but we feel as though we're being oppressed. So he knew that if he could appear to have some money and talk to people that are oppressed, that he can garner more money, more power, more prestige. And that's what he tried to do for some years, man. And to be honest, I could see another case coming up. I can see a case involving maybe a RICO or racketeering case. I can see another case coming up dealing with some financial stuff. Because I'm sure he's done a lot of dirt out there. He's done a lot of dirt that's been documented. And you know the feds are watching. You can't run around in Rolls Royces and hang with Mayweather and do all this other stuff without the feds watching you. What is your legitimate way of getting paid? These classes that you're trying to sell, these services that you're trying to sell, you can't get a Rolls Royce off of that. Where's all this coming from? So one thing about it is if you make yourself look like you have some money, you may attract the wrong people. You know, I wanted to tap in with y'all. I wanted to get the news out there. I wanted to let everybody know that this dude, he took his fall today. Hopefully, he can stay in that whole 7 years. I appreciate everybody that tapped in with me today, though. I appreciate the likes. Stay tuned for more content. You know, if you like it, cool. If not, cool, man. I might not be for everybody, but we're gonna have some more stuff going on over here. trying to find my way. I do other things as well, so my head is in 10 different places at times. But yeah, man. Hey, thanks for the comment. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the subscribe. If there's anything to update about this particular case, I don't plan on making my whole platform about Polight or the conscious community. You know what I mean? That's just something I watch in my spare time. It may be more topics about that though. Maybe, who knows? I don't know what I'm doing, cuz I couldn't tell you. But I appreciate y'all being here. Hey, y'all have a good one. Have a good day. Go get some money today. Go get some serenity today. Go get some peace today. It's a nice day outside. Winter's coming. Go get you some sun. Get you some exercise. Yeah, enjoy your day, man. Appreciate y'all being here.